got 3, 2, 1. We're live.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Colin. You know who coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, and of course, check out the new and improved blog section as well. We got new blogs dropping each and every day over there, covering many teams of your NFL desires. We covered about 15 teams over there, and we're always expanding. So, guys, head over to manhourradio.com to check out that, and of course, the merchandise page as well. And dropping just today, guys. Just today only. Now we have APIs and Pick'em over there as well. So if you guys are interested in the Pick'em leagues, go ahead and jump over there and we can give you a little bit of Pick'em action. We do got an action-packed show for you tonight, but first, it's time to get shocked.
What shocks me is that people in this world still fight over youth sports. Like, it drives me nuts, right? Like, I coach youth sports. I coach Little League. I coach youth football. I coach hockey. I ref hockey. I ref baseball. Like, there are parents out there that are just insane, right? Like, they think their kids are going to the pros tomorrow. And those are, we call them, as a coach or as a ref, especially, we call them the idiots in the stands. Well, there's a special idiot in the stands I'd like to point out today, and it is the little brother of Aqib Talib, Yaqub Talib, who has turned himself in after shooting an opposing coach over an argument of calls made by officials in a youth football game. So he shot the coach and killed him because of calls that were made in a youth football game. So we're talking about, 9, 10, maybe 11-year-old kids playing some football in the field, having the time of their lives. They don't care what calls the refs are making. They're not out there the ones that are arguing. You know who the ones that are arguing are the coaches and the parents. The kids are just like, all right, cool, whatever. Next play, let's run it again. Can I get the ball this time, coach? Like, that's all the kids care about. Yet we got parents out here fighting one another. We got parents out here shooting opposing coaches. Like, your brother played in the league. Your brother has made enough money for you and your family and your children and your children's children to live comfortably for the rest of their lives. And what do? You screw that all up by going out at a youth football game, probably your son's game, maybe a nephew's game, maybe just a friend's kid's game, and you turn that into a freaking massacre. These kids probably saw this go down because it's an argument during a game, so I'm assuming the kids were around. They see this go down, and now you just traumatize all these kids that were at this game. You took somebody's life. You took away somebody's father, somebody's husband, somebody's brother over calls of a youth football game. You, sir, are an elite moron. You, sir, deserve the death penalty. And you, sir, deserve everything that's about to happen to you. Get the hell out of here. Buck, that's my rant.
All right, guys, and that is my man Beastie Combs at @manhour_Combs on the old Twitter machine. As I gotta welcome my man Beastie to the Combs show. Gotta welcome my man Beastie Combs to the show, I should say.
We can call it the Combs show if you want.
I mean, I think my dyslexia was like vroom there, but guys, we do got a pretty good show for you. Live at 10 to 2 tonight. Week 1 of the NFL preseason is officially in the books, so we got a list of factor crafts tonight that we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about Soldier Field and how crappy it is. We're gonna talk about DeShaun Watson, and of course we gotta talk a little bit about Major League Baseball PEDs and steroid juices of the best players in the league. But Beastie, welcome to the show, man. How is your day going? What's going on in the world of Chicago?
Man, look, lots of warm weather. It's been nice over the last couple of days. I mean, really, really nice. Like, I'm talking windows down, driving on the highway. Nice. It's been fun. A lot of work, a lot of busy stuff. I had my my softball playoff tournament this weekend that didn't go so well. But we were there. We all had a good time. Lots of drinking was done. And so, it's good, man. It's good. How are you over there?
You know what, Combs? Just like you, it is beautiful outside. It is 80 degrees. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. But high school football season is officially here. We play our first game on Friday night, and it is a rivalry game. It's the battle of the 403 for the four of you that are not around this area. These two schools separate each other about 5 minutes apart. And basically, we've been in a pissing contest for the last 30, 40 years. So basically, who can have the best sports complex out there? And this school just dropped $80 million on their high school sports complex field. And we're about to go into Charlestown on Friday night and show them that it doesn't matter how much money you spend. The Buck Nasty Boys are still going to roll you no matter what. We're putting 80 up on those motherfuckers tonight.
Basically, what I heard there was, God, I am so jealous that they got such a nice complex and so much money put into their system that we've got to go there and we've got to try to beat them down. Is that what I heard?
No, what you heard was my taxes in my town raised 10%, so we could so we can build a $110 million high school football field with a jumbotron.
That didn't have anything about the football field. Your taxes getting raised had everything to do with your boy Joe Biden. That wasn't a football field.
Hey, me and Joe Biden are brothers, man. Stuttering is hereditary, and I got it from my daddy Joe.
I bet you would fall off your bike too.
He didn't fall off his bike. He was buying bikinis. What wasn't he or something?
No, he fell off his bike.
We do got Michelle in the chat saying, "What's up? What's up, man? Hour, my two favorite guys." Yes, ma'am, Michelle. We are glad you are here checking us out. Always excited to see you pre-show because we get the goods pre-show, right?
Her two favorite guys, babe. I'm doing the show with Buck. Soup Boss is off tonight.
Wow. Okay. We are going to go there right off the bat. Okay. Well, Combs, it is time to jump into the show since you just want to derail it instantly. Man, I was so hurt, guys. So if you are new here, over at youtube.com, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Manor. We are live every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. East Coast time. And my man Combsy is starting a Chicago Bears show or Chicago sports show in general on Saturday. Or on Saturdays, I should say, not on Saturday, but on Saturdays. Combs, you want to give a shameless plug about your show and what it's going to be about?
Yeah, so this, for all you guys out there that are listening, that are, in the area that are local to Chicago, or even if you're not local to Chicago and you're just interested in Chicago sports, name of the show is going to be The Truth About Chicago Sports. And this isn't going to be your, we've got a chance this year. I think that if we just show up, we could win the Super Bowl. No, this is going to be the truth about Chicago sports. So if you don't want to hear about how bad ownership is and how much that the Bears organization would thrive over the death of Virginia McCaskey, then this might not be the show for you. If you don't want to hear about how the Chicago Cubs rebuilding for the second time in 10 years is an absolute joke, this is not the show for you. But if you want the truth about Chicago sports, this is going to be the show for you. This is going to be something you guys want to tune into.
Yeah, so I am pretty excited about it, and it is in correlation with Man Hour, so, it's got to be good, right? So
Oh yeah, it's gonna be amazing. You guys are definitely gonna want to tune in.
Speaking of Joe Biden here, BCJ chimes into the chat. Brandon Combs Jr. says, "What's up, man? Our Nation, it's been a while." Yes, sir, it has. I'm glad to have you on here, Mr. Patriots fan. Jeez, get out of here with that crap.
I know that's
Jeez. That's so disrespectful.
I at least got him to be a Cubs fan, but yeah. I mean, he kills me with that Patriots stuff every damn time.
Well, it seems like the Patriots are not going to fall off the wagon anytime soon, and we will be talking about them coming up in the show here. But let's go ahead and start the show off, Combs, with a question that is burning in everybody's mind here. Zach Wilson went down with an apparent ACL injury preseason game week 1 on Saturday, and many people were speculating that he was going to be out for the season, yada, yada, yada. It turns out that it is just a meniscus tear, and he will be out only 2 to 4 weeks, likely going to miss the season opener for the New York Jets. But Combs, with this happening, fact or crap, the NFL should officially do away with preseason games.
Crap. And here's why it's crap, Buck. Look, I think that we need 3 or 4 preseason games? No. 2 is about the right number. I think 2 would be all right, plus training camp. But let's just face it. Had this not been the first week of preseason, it would have been week 1 of the regular season. Like he didn't get hurt because he was playing in preseason. He got hurt because he was playing, and a freak injury on a non-contact play happened. It doesn't matter when it happened. It happened. Injuries are a part of this game. Injuries is something that we all have to deal with, all as a fan base have to get over. We have to accept it. It's going to happen. Like you don't go into any year thinking, oh yeah, we got a chance this year. Our team is good. Oh yeah, well I didn't think about my quarterback going down. I mean, ask Niners fans, right? Ask 49ers fans about injuries. And to me, if you don't have preseason games, if you don't have the preseason workouts, I mean, look at the Bears lost the wide receiver N'Keal Harry that they traded for in the first day of training camp, right? So you want to do away with training camp too, just because there's injuries? So now they're going to come out week 1 and they're just going to be like they never had any workouts, no contact drills, no some live game action. They don't have any of that if there is no preseason, if there is no training camp. And so, no, you can't. We talked about this the other day. You can't manage out of fear. You can't coach out of fear, right? And so the fear injuries is just a part of the game. It's a part of what happens. Does it suck that it happened for Zach Wilson? Sure. But, I mean, look, now he's got more time with Joe Flacco's wife.
Jeez. He had to go there way too soon. So I am on the complete opposite spectrum of you, all just like on this, because the simple fact of like this, we pretty much already know what people can do in the NFL. I see Combs Jr. in the chat here saying that, of course, it's not going to pop up for me here, but he says it is a chance for the rookies to show what they can do in the league. That is a complete false statement. The rookies have all training camp to show what they can do in the league. They have more scrimmages than preseason games, like anyways. Basically, all preseason games are a money grab for the NFL ownerships. Combs, did you know that every player on the NFL roster in that preseason game is only making $500? So basically, Zach Wilson could have literally ended his career, multi-million-dollar career, over $500. So the NFL 100% needs to do away with preseason crap. College football doesn't do it. High school football doesn't do it. Why does NFL need to do it? Oh, because the owners need to line their pockets just a little bit more. So it is a complete fact that they need to do away with preseason games because of everything that I just said. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't see. I disagree. I don't. Doing away with preseason does what? I mean, do you think that just because it's called a preseason game, do you think that that's why he got hurt, or do you think he got hurt because he was out on the field? So does it make you feel better if Zach Wilson goes down week 1 of the regular season than it does week 1 of the preseason?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Go ahead.
Like, it makes me feel better just because I know my quarterback is out there competing for a reason. Preseason means absolutely nothing whatsoever. He's playing for $500. That is enough
so now
to buy
he's
a
out.
vasectomy.
Now he's out for 2 to 4 weeks, right? There's
Correct.
still 2 weeks left of preseason. So 2 of those weeks that he's missing don't count.
Right.
Instead of 2 to 4 weeks of regular season action. So you could look at it from that perspective too, right? You could look at the positive out of it instead of just always looking at the negative. And you could look at the positive and be like, well, you know what? Yeah, he's out for 2 to 4 weeks. Luckily, it wasn't an ACL and it was only a meniscus. But he's really only out for 1 to 2 weeks of the regular season. So that's really the bonus there. You're not going to, if your only reason, like if you give me another case or another reason for wanting to take out the preseason, I'm willing to listen. But injuries can't be that reason, because to me, injuries are a part of the game. Injuries is something that's going to happen, whether it's preseason week 1 or regular season week 1, whatever you want to call it. It's in-game action. It was something that happened. It's the way he got hit, the way somebody landed on him, whatever the case is and whatever the injury is, it's that was going to happen because that's part of the game. So you can't come at me and say you can't have preseason just because of injuries. There's got to be other reasons why you don't want to have preseason. And I'm willing to listen. If you can cut out preseason and we can just get straight to regular season, let's add 2 more regular season games. Let's go 19 weeks of regular season games. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think that's a little too much. But on the flip side of the coin, a lot of these injuries, ACLs, Achilles, this tear that he had, a lot of these injuries are coming because the body is not ready to perform at that high level yet. They've been kind of half-assing training camp just because they know they have another month to really prepare their bodies to like get in that game zone set there. So if we cancel out preseason games, I feel like a lot of these injuries that we are seeing, these ACL tears that I was seeing, like all these shoulders and thighs, like just like we won't be seeing this as much because the players have to know, hey, we only got a month and a half to get our bodies in shape. We don't have three and a half months. So canceling out the preseason games, I think we would see less injuries as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you would. I think you would see the same amount of seasons. The only problem is you do that, then you're gonna be missing more regular season games.
You're
and
right.
Again, I don't think that this injury happened just because it was preseason. This injury happened because it was ready to go. Like the meniscus was probably ready to go. He probably had some other injury and he didn't know, tweaked his knee, did something. And there's probably something there because again, this was a non-contact injury. It's just something that happened. I mean, we've seen that a couple times, right? I mean, Gronk, if you sneeze near him, you would fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it goes. Sorry, Michelle, but it's the truth. I mean, the guy, every time he got touched, he would get a concussion or he would get hurt. That's why he retired the first time.
Right.
That's probably why he retired the second time. Like, it's just one of those things where you've got to take into consideration that this is just part of the game. And, it's not like he was out there in the fourth quarter, trying to win the game in the fourth quarter. He was out there in the first quarter running a couple of easy series and something happened. You can't it's not preseason's fault that Zach Wilson got hurt.
So let me ask you this question, just because we actually had a high school scrimmage last Friday, and we set out a lot of our key players because of this very injury, or not very injury, but for this very fact. Like, would you rather lose a key player during a meaningless game or during the season actually competing for something? And then I was on the verge of saying I would rather lose said player in a meaningful game than a non-meaning scrimmage. So what are your thoughts on that, Combs? Would you, let's say Justin Fields, would you rather lose Justin Fields in a preseason game for the whole season or week 2?
Well, I'd rather not lose him at all.
Right.
And to answer your question, I'd rather be in the position of Zach Wilson than lose him in week 2 because I don't want him out for weeks 3, 4, 5, and 6. Instead, he's out for 2 more meaningless games and maybe 1 or 2 of the regular games. Like, So to me, if I'm answering that question, if I have to pick one of the two, I'm going to take the preseason game.
And I'm on the exact opposite. I'd rather lose him during the season. I don't know. I mean,
let's change that question a little bit.
Okay.
Would you rather lose him for 2 meaningless games and 2 meaningful games, or would you rather lose him for 4 meaningful games?
I mean, obviously, if I had to choose, it'd be 2 meaningless, only 2 games, right? But on the flip side of the coin, you never know when this injury is going to happen. So you kind of have to manage with a little bit of fear during these preseason special team games.
I mean, who was the player who just freaking hurt himself? It's a baseball player. The Red Sox, Chris Sale, finally comes back off of the injury list and missed half of the season, and he goes out for a bike ride and falls off his bike and fractures his wrist. He's out for the rest of the season.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Like injuries happen, you know, it's nothing you can do.
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that. But moving on here to the next fact or crap, Adrian Hutchinson Combs destroyed the opposition on week 1 of the preseason. Basically made that offensive lineman look like a baby back bitch. Let's just be flat out honest about it. Fact or crap, Adrian Hutchinson will be as good as Joey Bosa, J.J. Watt, and, of course, Aaron Donald.
God, those are big shoes. Those are big shoes. And, look, I mean, one play doesn't make that. I like him. I like Hutch a lot. And I think he's a stud. I just can't put him in those shoes yet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have to see some more from him. I'm going to have to see him do it on a larger scale other than just, preseason. I don't know. Like I'd have to see. I didn't see the play. To be honest, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I didn't see all of the stuff from this weekend yet. But it's one of those where when you're trying to compare any player, especially a rookie, to guys who are probably first ballot Hall of Famers, it's a little touchy for me, right? Because I don't think I could ever do that. Now, do I think he can be that player? Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got the potential to be that player. I think he's got that it factor. He's a stud. And he's going to be a stud for a long time, barring any, like we were just talking about, barring any injuries. He's going to be a stud for a long time. But you got to think about it too. There's been guys who we've thought were going to be that coming out of college and who we thought were going to make impact plays. Who was the kid out of Louisville who knocked that guy's freaking helmet like 30 yards back after he hit him with a sack? He got drafted.
That was Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney, right? Like we thought Clowney. I mean, Clowney's been a journeyman his whole career,
right?
So I don't. There's always that hesitation when you try to compare somebody to greats like that. So I just can't put him there yet, but I think he's got the potential to be.
Yeah, it is funny that you bring up Jadeveon Clowney just because I was going to say that one big hit in that bowl game versus Michigan literally made him a number 1 overall pick. So
it took him from like a mid-first rounder or early second round of projection to number 1.
Yeah, just by that one big ass hit, right? So, if you guys have watched Adrian Hutchinson over at all, he has been a beast all through high school, all through college, and like training camp, and like now his first preseason game. Adrian Hutchinson has a motor that doesn't quit, and he's feeding off Dan Campbell at a amazing rate. Adrian Hutchinson is going to be an all-time great defensive end, Combs. So this is 100% fact. He is going to be great, and there is no stopping him. People can only hope to contain him. He is easily going to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he might be the first defensive of MVP that we've had in a very, very Charles Woodson, I think, was like the last one or something like that. So he is going to be the next defensive MVP that we see in the league. He is a freaking beast.
I mean, I think you're going to have some. I think it's going to be a lot harder for him to be Defensive Rookie of the Year than you think. I think there's a lot of good defensive players that came out of this draft. I look at my boys here in Chicago, and not just because I'm a Chicago guy, but because I think this kid is going to be good. Look at Jaquan Brisker.
Yeah, you're right.
Jaquan Brisker is the real deal. I mean, they stole that pick when they picked up Brisker, and I don't know that Hutchinson will win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to be a really fun season to watch. You also look at where does Hutchinson play again?
Defensive end for the Detroit Lions.
I know.
Oh.
For the Detroit Lions, though, right?
Yeah.
So it might be hard to be Defensive Player of the Year when the rest of your defense is still giving up 40 points and you're losing a bunch of games.
Okay, so I gotta want to promote HBO because they're not paying us whatsoever. But I bought HBO just to watch Hard Knocks, and Dan Campbell and that defense and pretty much that whole team, they are hungry, Combs. They are hungry and they're biting at the bits. They want to succeed so bad, and they finally have a coach and a general manager and a core team that has that hunger and has that passion. So I think legitimately that the Lions can go 9 wins this season, and if they are a winning team, I think he has a Defensive Player of the Year in the bag, hands down. Also, on the flip side of the coin, what is the easiest position to transfer from college to the NFL? That is defensive end, because you still rush the quarterback.
What did they do that makes them 5 games better than they were last year?
They added they had a great draft. They picked up the receiver from Jacksonville. They drafted that receiver Jameson. What's his name? That's hurt now.
You could have picked up every top wide receiver in the game.
No.
Jared Goff is still their quarterback.
Okay, and
they're still not going to be good, Buck.
What did Jared Goff do his second year with the Rams, or third year with
because of the offense, because of the scheme they were running?
They had that same offense. They had that same scheme.
What was Matt Stafford the year before he just won the Super Bowl in Detroit? They were a 5-win team, and then he went to the Rams, and they're a Super Bowl team. It's the scheme. Look, Matt Stafford's a much better quarterback than Jared Goff is too. That's another thing.
Pause. No,
stop. Don't even go there.
No,
don't even try.
Jared Goff is better than Matthew Stafford.
You are out of you're in timeout, Buck.
No.
You're lucky we're on this new thing and I can't mute your mic because I don't know how.
It wouldn't matter because I backdoor anyways. I'm used to backdoors, right? Wink, wink. Right, Joe. No, but seriously, you put Jared Goff on the Rams last year, they win the Super Bowl too. Matthew Stafford wasn't the bread and butter for the Rams last season. The Rams legitimately bought themselves a Super Bowl.
You just said if you put Jared Goff on the Rams last year, they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you had Jared Goff on the Rams the last 5 years. And
they also didn't have OBJ. They also didn't have a healthy running game.
Halfway through the season last
year. So, what were the Rams doing halfway through the season? They were good, but they weren't great. They were not a Super Bowl caliber team. Odell Beckham Jr.
They were talking about winning the Super Bowl the entire year. People picked them preseason to win the Super Bowl
because of Cooper Kupp and the running game and the defense, not because of
Matthew Stafford.
No, come on.
You are out of your mind. I can't even talk this nonsense with you because it's so dumb. I don't even think that you believe what you're saying right now.
If I were to do a top 10 quarterback ranking right now, Matthew Stafford would not be in the top 10. Jared Goff would be number 11 on the outside looking in above Matthew Stafford.
I need Soup Boss here for this one.
Soup Boss is going to agree with me just because he is not riding the prisoner of the moment. Yes, Matthew Stafford was a solid quarterback in Detroit because they had weapons around him. the only reason why they would never make it to the next step was because the head coaching and the ownership and a general manager.
Because their quarterback would throw timely interceptions. Their quarterback couldn't lead them downfield when they needed it the most because their quarterback.
Right? Matthew Stafford couldn't do all that stuff, right? But then all of a sudden he goes to the Rams. Come on now. I think you're confusing the two guys. Even. Jared Goff is better than Matthew Stafford. Okay, seriously, this year alone, let's say Jared Goff is the quarterback of the Lions. They'll probably go 9-8. You put Matthew Stafford on the same exact team, the same exact year, same exact schedule. They're probably a 6-7 win team.
I mean, look, I'm going to refute you right now, and it's going to be simple. It's going to be simple. Okay, so would you say that before last year, Jared Goff was leading a better offense than what Matthew Stafford was between the Rams and the Lions?
I would say they were kind of the same, just because everybody was starting to pick up on the Rams system. They were starting to know what to key. And like everybody was getting injured, and Cooper Kupp hadn't really arrived yet. Cooper Kupp was on his way up, but he hasn't.
Let's go with 2020, right? 2020. Okay. Cooper Kupp had arrived, right? By 2020.
Well,
Cooper Kupp had arrived. He was on the scene. Yeah, Jared Goff had Robert Woods. Jared Goff had I forget the running back's name, escapes my name, but they had a solid team. They had Aaron Donald, they had all of that, right?
Okay. So is this the same Robert Woods that tore his ACL week 5 of 2020 season? Was this the same Henderson that was hurt all of 2020 as well, and then it come back to the postseason?
Come on, Henderson wasn't nothing anyway.
Yeah, he was. He was their bread and butter of that whole team.
Stop.
And then Cam Akers was hurt that year too, I think. Everybody was hurt for the Rams in 2020.
Name me the Lions wide receivers in 2020.
I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Jameson Crowder
and Matthew Stafford threw for more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions, and had a 6-point better quarterback rating.
Okay.
Like
on a team that was healthy versus a team that was playing with a bunch of backups.
With the lesser team. What are you talking about?
Come on. It is all about scheme at the end of the day, and everybody knew the Rams scheme in 2020. 2021, Sean McVay evolved again.
I can't.
You can't because you know I'm right.
No, I can't because I know you're stupid.
Oh, stupid. Moving on here to the next factor crap of the night. Many fans are saying that Kenny Pickett won the starting job week 1 in the preseason comb after his game-winning drive over the Seahawks. Combsy, fact or crap, Kenny Pickett will be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers come week 1.
So I'm going to go fact here. Because I think what's going to happen, because I watched this Pittsburgh game because I was interested in how Mitch Trubisky would play because I knew Mitch Trubisky was starting, and Mitch Trubisky had a really good game. He looked really good rolling out of the pocket, throwing a touchdown pass. But then you watched what the other Steelers quarterbacks did, and Mason Rudolph looked really good, and so did Kenny Pickett. All three of them looked really, really good. So you start wondering, do they look really good? Or what's going on. But by the time Kenny Pickett comes in, where I give Mitch Trubisky the edge here, is that Kenny Pickett came in and did it against a third stringer. Mitch Trubisky was doing it against the starters. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But I think that the Steelers will try to move Mitch Trubisky while his draft stock or trade stock is still high. And I still believe they're going to go out and get Jimmy G. So I'm going to go with crap here. I don't think Kenny Pickett will be the starter, and it's just because the time's just not right for him yet.
Yeah, so sorry, I had myself on mute there. So you were telling me that Mason Rudolph looked good over the Saturday because I thought he looked like complete crap. Like myself.
No, I mean he looked fine. I mean, he didn't look terrible. I was watching the game, on and off. I saw what I was watching because I wanted to see Mitch Trubisky.
Right.
But no, Mason Rudolph. I mean, he had a fine game on Saturday. He wasn't. I mean, Mason Rudolph is terrible anyway. I mean,
right.
he had a great game for Mason Rudolph standards.
Yeah. And with his half a head still, I think the other half is still on the side of Mason Garrett's like helmet. But Combs, you are right in everything that you just said. Mitchell Trubisky played against the first string team. Also, on the flip side of the coin, he had the first string offense as well. When Kenny Pickett came in, yes, he was playing against a third string defense or fourth string or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, he had third and fourth string offensive players as well. So I kind of feel like that balanced itself out. And I do think Kenny Pickett outplayed Mitchell Trubisky week 1 in the preseason. But on the flip side of the coin, this is Mitchell Trubisky's sixth season here or fifth season or whatever it is, and this is his fifth or sixth preseason game, so he wasn't really nothing to get hyped about, to get too excited about. Kenny Pickett playing at home, his mom and dad were in the stands, his aunts, uncles, all the high school friends that he had the trends were all there. He was excited to play. He was hyped to play. So to say that Kenny Pickett won the job week 1, that is a complete crap statement. Now,
yeah, and I mean when you look at the stats, I mean I just looked them up. He had, because I didn't think that Kenny Pickett was that much better than Mason Rudolph, and I was right. Yeah. I mean, look, Mason Rudolph threw for 93 yards, a touchdown, 0 interceptions. Kenny Pickett threw for 95 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. So he wasn't all world. Right. Better than Mason Rudolph was. So
but
all three quarterbacks had a really good game.
But I'm telling you that the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett for a reason. They have him at third string quarterback for a reason, and that is to make him work. That is to make him fight, and to make him earn the respect of the teammates around him. Kenny Pickett will be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers come week 1. And it's not because of this preseason game. It's because of all the training camp. He has had to work every second to get better and improve and just really gain the trust of
I still think
guys.
Jimmy G is their starter week 1.
Now, if Jimmy G does go to the Steelers, yes, Jimmy G will be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers 100%. But if that trade were to happen, or if Jimmy G gets cut, one of those quarterbacks, Mitchell Trubisky or Kenny Pickett, has to go. And do you want a quarterback controversy with Kenny Pickett and Jimmy G? No, I think you would try to move Kenny Pickett, right?
No, I mean, look, you bring Jimmy G on and you give him a 2-year deal, and you let him know that he's just there until Kenny Pickett's ready to go. And then you try to trade. You either trade him or you let him walk. But then you got your quarterback of the future ready to go. Kenny Pickett. I don't think Kenny Pickett's ready week 1 this season.
Well, as Suitbox says, it does not help a quarterback to sit, right?
No, I agree. I agree. It just depends on the quarterback, though, right? Like, I mean, do you want Ryan Leaf starting for you week 1, or do you want Tom Brady starting for you week 1? You know what I mean?
Ryan Leaf. Tom Brady definitely wasn't ready his rookie year.
Neither was Ryan Leaf.
You know who is ready? Skylar Thompson, my man from Kansas State, baby.
Oh,
right
God.
There. That man throwing like 300 yards in the preseason game. Woof. Better watch out. So, Combsy,
the other team didn't show up.
Hey, Skylar Thompson showed out, baby. 7th round pick. I told you guys to watch out for my boy. Fucking fly, get out of here. So, Combs, let's go off the cuff here. Combsy Jr. pops into the chat here, and he says, fact or crap, Pittsburgh will have a better season than the last 3 with Big Ben.
Oof, God, they were a playoff team last year.
Yeah, they were a 7th round or a 7th seed going into Kansas City, and they did lose that at Arrowhead, like obviously.
Yeah, man,
They were.
I'm gonna preface this by
10-7.
saying, if Mitch Trubisky is not their starter week 1, yes, they'll have a better season because it'll either be Jimmy G or it'll be somebody else that they trade for. If Mitch 1 is their starter week 1, they're in trouble.
So let me pull up the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule here because I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they went 10-7 last year, right? No, they were 9-7 last season, so they were 9-7-1.
Well, they had to been 9-8. Oh yeah, 9-7-1.
Yeah, they're 9-7-1 here. And let's look at their first 4 games of the season, Combs. They traveled to Cincinnati. They played New England. They're at Cleveland, and then they play the Jets, Buffaloes, Bucks, Miami, Eagles, Saints, and then the Bengals, Colts, Falcons, Ravens. Panthers, Raiders, Ravens. They have a fairly easy schedule here.
Easy? I've got them 0-3 in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, but then they play the Jets. Then they play the Miami Dolphins.
They beat the
That's
Jets.
a dub.
They lose to the Bills. They lose to the Bucks. They probably lose to the Dolphins because it's in Miami, and that's a sneaky tough place to play.
Okay.
The Eagles are much improved. I think the Eagles might be a better team than the Steelers. That's a close one to call, so let's give them that win. They're not as good as the Saints. That's a loss. And by then, I think Kamara will be back by then, no?
How
long's the suspension?
Games, 4 to 6 games. Yeah, he definitely should be back by that point.
Yeah, he'll be back by then. Then you got the Bengals again, the Colts. Both of those teams are still better than you. You got the Falcons, the Ravens. I mean, that's a divisional game. That's, could be a loss. You got the Panthers, the Raiders. I don't think it's an easy schedule at all. I don't see it. I don't see them having a better year just based off of the schedule, especially if Mitch Trubisky's their starter heading in. They're in trouble, and I think by the time that they play the Jets in week 5, I think then you will see Kenny Pickett be the starter in week 5.
So let's just think about this here. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. I do think I do think they still get 3 division wins, whether it come from 2 from whether they split or they get 2 from 1, but they get 3 division wins somehow, some way. They beat the Jets. I think they beat the Dolphins, and then they beat the Falcons, Cardinals, and Raiders. That right there is 8 wins off the top of my head, and they're probably going to sneak in a win, possibly versus the Bucks or the Bills or the Patriots, one of those teams, giving them 9 wins. So I'm going to go with crap that they will not be better, but they will still have a 9-7 record, I think. So not better,
I'm
but
gonna
not
say
worse.
5-12 for the Steelers this year.
Wow, 5-12.
Gonna be the worst season of Tomlin's career, unless if they make this trade that I keep saying they need to make.
Yeah.
You trade Mitch Trubisky over to San Francisco, let him be the backup to Trey Lance, and you bring in Jimmy G to be your starter. That completely changes my perspective, and then I would agree with you. They're a 9-10 win team. So
let me ask you this question here. Do you make a trade for Jimmy G, bringing on that $24 million salary, or do you wait until the 49ers cut him, and then you're kind of in like a bidding sweepstake type of thing?
I don't even let it get there. I go ahead and I trade for him because you could probably get him for like a 4th, a 6th, or something crazy. But
you still got to take on that $25 million salary, though.
Yeah, but you take on that $25 million salary to be your quarterback for this year because you know he can get you to a winning season. And if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm going to ownership right now, and I'm saying, look, this needs to be my quarterback. You need to make this happen. Otherwise, we're not going to have a winning season. And I mean, look, Mike Tomlin's legacy is sealed, right? Like, he's a Hall of Fame head coach. But if he wants to keep his streak alive, never having a losing season, he needs a quarterback, and he needs one now.
So we are talking about Jimmy G's salary out here, $23, $24, $25 million that the Pittsburgh Steelers would have to take on here. So if you were to trade for him, say it's a 4th, 5th, or 6th round pick, whatever it is, right? You still only get Jimmy G for that 1 year, and then you got to redo his contract or let him walk. You might only want him for 1 year. $25 million to make the playoffs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how much money you make once you make the playoffs? Not only the ticket sales, especially if you have a home game,
Right.
You got the ticket sales, you got all of the concessions. It's absolutely worth the $25 million to go out and get Jimmy G to be your quarterback to bring you to a playoffs. And you might only need him for 1 year. Maybe Kenny Pickett's ready at the end of this year. You know what I mean? But you've got to do something, because without a quarterback, you're not a winning team. And that's something that and the Steelers organization is known for going out and making these moves and wanting to be the best of the best. They're a great run organization. I don't see them standing back with Mitch Trubisky at all.
Yeah, so this is the problem that I see with just because I believe Jimmy G still has a no trade clause in his contract. So basically he has to agree to go to said location, right? Jimmy G thinks he is a elite quarterback in this league, which I think he is. However, if he were to go to Pittsburgh, Combs, he would simply just be a placeholder for Kenny Pickett to get ready and then to come in. Is Jimmy G willing to sit there and basically mentor a young quarterback for a year or two and then be in the same situation that he is in now?
I think that you're looking at it, again, like we talked about earlier in the show. I think you're just looking at it from the negative side, right? You're looking at it from the positive side. You're not a placeholder. You're the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're in your free agent contract year. Go out there, shell out, bring them to the playoffs too, and then be like, look, every year I've had a healthy team, I've gone to the playoffs. Maybe you go to even an AFC title game with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this really tough AFC. That boosts your market even that much more. And then all of a sudden, you just have to understand that the amount of teams that are going to be looking for a franchise quarterback are the teams that aren't very good. The teams that are very good already have their franchise quarterback. So you're not going to be going to a very good team. But if you want that payday, if the money is what you want, that's where you're going to have to go. You have a chance. You have a legitimate chance to be a Super Bowl contender if you go to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, like I said, I feel the Pittsburgh Steelers are definitely a good quarterback away. So you are speaking of teams that could be looking for their franchise quarterback here, and I'm kind of going off the cuff a tad bit here, but Lamar Jackson said he will no longer listen to contract talks after first week of the NFL season. So right now the Ravens and Lamar Jackson are pretty far apart as far as contract goes. Does a team like the Baltimore Ravens make a play for Jimmy G, knowing that Lamar Jackson isn't their long-term guy?
No, I feel like they go out and they get the deal done with Lamar before the season starts. And I think they're in the same situation right now with Lamar that the Bears are with Roquan Smith. I think both of those deals get done before the season starts, and they lock down their guy. If you're the Ravens, man, are you trading? Like, first of all, I don't think that San Francisco wants Lamar Jackson. You'd have to probably get a third team involved in that trade,
right?
And so because they're not going to put any strain on the Trey Lance thing. And Trey Lance looked really good. Trey Lance looked really good this weekend, and you don't want to put any strain on that. So they're not going to go after Lamar. So you'd have to get a third team in that. And I don't know, what that third team is, because unless it's Pittsburgh, and you're not going to let Lamar Jackson go to Pittsburgh.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not going to see Lamar Jackson twice a year. So I don't know that trade's out there. I believe Baltimore gets that deal done.
Yeah, so this is me thinking like beyond this season, right? And let's say Lamar Jackson was to hit free agency. I don't think any other team in the NFL, maybe besides like the Houston Texans, maybe a team like the Miami Dolphins, might make a play for Lamar Jackson, just because it is Lamar Jackson has such a special skill trait, and that's not throwing the ball, that is running the ball while on the run, right? So with that being said, if the deal doesn't get done by week 1 and Lamar Jackson has a subpar year or even an average year, I could see the Ravens letting Lamar Jackson test free agency what he can get, and then they could go get a quarterback and then rebuild that team.
You know, Junior brings up an interesting one that I didn't think of. It would make a lot of sense if the Niners did want to bring in a third team and the Ravens were really interested. Man, Seattle would be very interesting.
Then you run into the issue: do the 49ers want to see Lamar Jackson twice a year?
Yeah, that's true too. True too.
Now, like I have saying that Lamar Jackson is trash, right, as a quarterback, but with the right system, Lamar Jackson can succeed in the regular season, just not in the postseason.
If you're the Ravens, you call the Niners and be like, look, I'm getting a first, 2 seconds, and a third for Lamar Jackson. I'll give you that second and that third, but I'm not telling you what team it is. Will you take the trade?
Well, you are the owner, or let's say you are Kyle Shanahan, and you have the ability to trade Jimmy G for a second or third round pick, and you're going to face Lamar Jackson twice a year. Would you do that? Do you have faith that your defense can lock down a very electric, elite quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Niners, he doesn't scare me on the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks, look, I like DK Metcalf, but he wants out of Seattle. And so
after you just signed a $100 million deal, right?
Yeah. So there's no, that would be dynamic. I like that. I didn't even think about the Seahawks until I saw that comment come up from Junior. But that's an interesting one.
Yeah. So because if you think about this right now, the 49ers are pretty much Jimmy G's stock is low. It is like Bitcoin stock right now. It's just going right.
What about the Dolphins?
The Dolphins don't have any draft picks to give him because they all gave him up for Tyreek Hill. You're giving Tua. No. They have faith in Tua.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe if you give him like Jalen Waddle. That's not going to happen.
No.
Moving on. The next factor crap here, Combs. Speaking of the New England Patriots, Beastie Combs Jr. team over there, Mac Jones cracks the NFL top 100 for his first time after having a stellar rookie season. He comes in at number 84. Combs, fact or crap, Mac Jones will have the best career out of his quarterback class?
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's in the same quarterback class as Justin Fields.
Yep, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence. You have who else? You have Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and there was somebody else. I can't remember.
Ooh,
Davis Mills.
Man. I think that Trey Lance will win a Super Bowl before Mac Jones. I think he might even have a better career than Mac Jones because I think that the Patriots are probably maybe a season, maybe even 2 seasons away from losing Bill Belichick. So I'm going to go with crap. I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance will both have better careers than Mac Jones, but I think Mac Jones is still going to have a really good career. I just think that Justin Fields and Trey Lance will be just a little bit better. I think both of those guys will actually win a Super Bowl before Mac Jones.
Wow, that's a bold statement there, Cotton. As my man Alpha Rob jumps in the crap here, says crap on Noodle Arm Jones. He does not like Mac Jones whatsoever. That's a little divisional rivalry there. But Combs, Mac Jones is a very good quarterback. He has very good game managing skills. He has very good leadership skills, and people around the locker room like him a lot. But there is a quarterback that everybody is sleeping on right now. Do you know who that quarterback is, Combsy? It is not Trevor Lawrence. It's not Zach Wilson. Nope. It's not Trey Lance. It's not Justin Fields. It's Davis Mills for the Houston Texans. The last half of the season, Davis Mills came on and started to look like a professional athlete. Davis Mills is leading the worst organizational team in America times 10, and he is doing good. Give him a couple years, the Houston Texans might be relevant again.
Maybe Davis Mills was just happy with where he was at. Maybe Davis Mills was just excited because he got DeShaun Watson sessions after DeShaun Watson left.
It doesn't matter, baby. He's still going to be better than all those quarterbacks. Davis Mills is that diamond in the rough. You just got to polish it a little bit, rub the genie and rub the electric lamp. Are you getting the puns there, Combs? Right?
Do you think he manscapes? See what I did there?
100%. That is a great plug, Combs. Great plug. So, guys, Man Hour is brought to you by Manscaped now. You can save 20% using promo code MANHOUR starting next week. So, yeah, that is perfect. Combs Jr. comes out and says, fact, I think it is going to be a fun season with Mac Jones taking snaps with playing a season with New England after getting comfortable. But I think he goes neck and neck with Justin Fields are hungry. So both of them are hungry. So
you can't take a Patriots fan opinion. Look, the Patriots could sign me tomorrow, and Patriots fans would be like, this is the greatest signing of all time, because everybody they sign is the greatest signing of all time. They never get anything wrong, and Patriots fans always feel like they're going to be great forever. You guys are in for a world of hurt over the next couple of years.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Last year, guys, Mac Jones, people were comparing him to a 10-year vet, like, on the field. Now, this year, they have a new offensive scheme. They have a new offensive coordinator. They went from a power run team to a zone run team. This is flustering Mac Jones. Look at him in the preseason game. Listen to him in press conferences. Watch him during training camp. Mac Jones is recessing this year a lot, and it would not surprise me if Mac Jones does have that sophomore slump, and the Patriots aren't a 5-7 or a 5-12 team, or maybe even a 7-10 team. Like, they are going to take a couple steps back this year, Combs.
I don't know if they'll take a couple steps back this year. I think that, well, actually, I do think they're going to take a couple steps back this year, because I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year. But I think Mac Jones is still a good quarterback. I don't think he's going to regress. I just think that they're going to be running a new system here in a year or two. And that's when I think that
they're running a new system now.
Yeah, but it's still Bill Belichick. I still believe that he will find a way. He always does.
Right.
It's just, it's one of those things. So I still think that he'll be, but he's going to, the Patriots are going to be in a world of hurt once Belichick's gone. And I think that might happen after this year. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I'm not so sure Bill Belichick is their coach next season.
Yeah, so jumping in the comments here, Alpha Rob says, if Davis Mills stays away from the massage parlors, he'll be just fine. Or he'll be even better if he goes to the massage parlors and just doesn't want out of Houston. I mean, whatever.
Go ahead.
Mills
is a good quarterback. I just don't know. I don't know if he's that good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to jump on that underdog story, and like really pound it home, because I do like what he did. Now, if he's truly going to be better, that's tough. Just because there are quarterbacks in really good situations, right? Mac Jones and Trey Lance are both in really good situations.
And then in the chat, you got Alpha Rob, a supreme Buffalo Bills fan, going up against Junior, as a supreme Patriots fan, going back and forth talking about who sucked. This is like the ultimate. If you want to know how dumb fans are, hop in the chat right now, because they're about to argue over some stupid stuff right now.
Beastie Combs Jr. says, Dad, we would go 0-17 with you. You can barely get out of bed. Not wrong.
No, he's, I mean, absolutely 110% correct.
Who was taller?
I'll still whoop his ass.
You
though.
or Kyler Murray?
I'm taller than Kyler. The better question is Kyler Murray taller than Michelle? But,
oh man,
God, I hate you.
Combs,
It's not my fault. You're like 7'4".
I'm 6'3". Calm down.
You're 7'4", easily.
I am 7'4", 4-year all league in the Arena Football League. One-time CFL Canadian Football League All-Star. I mean, Gatorade Defensive Player of the Year. Come on,
look,
baby.
man, you got some accolades to you. You know, I'm a 2-time divorcee. I'm a six-time father.
Yeah.
You know.
7 on the way soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Michelle has her way and my vasectomy gets reversed, but
Hey, I got mine, dude. It freaked me out when I saw the smoke start rolling out. I was like, what is going on down there? Did you guys burn the wrong thing or what?
What sucked for me is they didn't wait for the freaking the Novocaine to kick in. They just started going, and I feel the pinching. I'm like, oh my God, that fucking
something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Combs Jr. says the Patriots will go 9-8 this season. Honestly, just barely missing the playoffs.
Junior says you boys are nothing without. See, this is what I'm talking about. Stupid fans. You boys are nothing without Allen and Diggs. So without their top wide receiver and without the top 5 quarterback in the game, the team's not. Well, no kidding. No kidding.
Actually,
what are you guys? What are the Patriots without Mac Jones and their top wide receiver?
Actually, let me piggyback on this. I think the Buffalo Bills are probably a more scary team without Josh Allen at the helm. Now, Now, Diggs is a great is a great receiver, but if you do not have the powerful arm of Josh Allen, you don't have to worry about those 13 seconds versus my Kansas City Chiefs, right, Alpha Rob? Just because you guys would be running the ball a hell of a lot more, using Singletary to his ability. I mean, yes, you guys pass the ball like 93% of the time this past season, only because you have Josh Allen. If you didn't have Josh Allen, it would probably be a 60-40 pick there, and I think they would be a hell of a lot scarier team.
We have to move on. I can't do this again with you. We just did this a little bit ago. I can't.
Combs says, what, Buck? Is wrong with you? LMO. No Allen, no playoffs. How about this? With Josh Allen, still no playoffs.
Oh, God. Stop.
Buck, are you drunk? I'm not drunk. Just face it. You guys have a great running back. Singletary is damn good. Utilize him. Jesus, utilize him. Moving on, Combs. Moving on.
Please.
The last factor crap of the night, guys, goes out to the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens won their 21st preseason game in a row, setting an NFL record for the most wins in preseason in a row. Combs, factor crap. The Baltimore Ravens, as this record should be proud of.
Crap. You won 21 straight games that don't matter. You've also lost 21 straight games that do matter, and those are playoff games. So stop. Who cares? 21 in a row, great. Yeah, it's cool for stupid fans. It's dumb. It is dumb, and if they take pride in it, that shows how poor that organization is. This is something like the Jacksonville Jaguars would take pride in. This is something that like Cleveland Browns fans way back when would take pride in. Cincinnati Bengals fans before, the last couple of seasons would take pride in. This is not something that the Baltimore Ravens should be taking pride in.
Yeah, and this is the same Baltimore Ravens team that padded stats last year versus the Denver Broncos to basically continue their consecutive 100-yard games in a row record that they like they had. So any record that the Ravens have, I feel it is complete crap. Who cares about preseason? Who cares about the most consecutive 100-yard games in a like in a row? Because you guys padded the stats versus the Denver Broncos. Congratulations, right? And guess what, Combs? Lamar Jackson is still trash.
You know what? You asked earlier if we should do away with preseason.
Yes.
And I'm in favor of doing away with preseason next year just so we can end the streak of the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, what if the Baltimore Ravens never lost another preseason game? They have like 150 preseason wins in a row.
Yeah, they still have to win when it counts,
Right.
and they don't.
Because they have Lamar Jackson in a crap organization. I'm just saying. Lamar is a 2017 Atlanta Falcons and the playoffs. I don't understand that comment. Do you understand that?
Lamar Jackson is what?
Choker. It sounded like he says cocker, but choker.
Chalker. Yeah, stay in school, kid.
It's all good.
Hashtag chalker.
Speaking of staying in school, should the Soldier Field stay in school, Combs?
Oh, God. It is so embarrassing how bad this organization is. I mean, they can't even get the field right now. Like the field, the league comes out and says, "Oh, we've got to take a look into this field." Well, then the park district, because it's not the Bears that own Soldier Field; it's the park district in the city, and they want to come out. It's got to be so embarrassing for them to have this shown on national TV. I mean, did you see any of it, Buck? I mean, there are brown patches of dirt everywhere on the field. It looks like it almost looks like a hockey game. You know how in hockey, halfway through the period, the ice is all tore up?
Yep.
Well, it looks like they needed a Zamboni to come out on the field to repair all the damn divots. Like, it was so bad. And it's embarrassing because you are an NFL team. This is an NFL organization. And not only that, but the city of Chicago and the Park District is trying so hard to keep the Bears at Soldier Field and not to move over to Arlington Heights and not to build this new stadium because they can keep you here and we could build a dome on top of Soldier Field and we could do all the things. You can't even get the field right for a preseason game. And you want to go ahead and talk this team into staying in this facility that has been shit for years? For years, this stadium has been crap. This is a stadium that fans don't want to go to, but it's going to take them 9 hours to get out of freaking parking because you're right down Lakeshore Drive and the traffic is horrendous. You can't get in to the stadium. There's no tailgating areas. There is nothing. There is nothing. Oh, great, you get a waterfront property. That's cool. You know what we're not doing when we're inside the stadium watching a football game? Looking at the damn water. Like, that doesn't matter. This stadium is crap. I'm happy that the league is stepping in and saying you got to do something about the field, but I'm even happier that in 3 to 4 years, we won't have to deal with this damn stadium anymore because the Bears will be out in Arlington Heights in a dome that is actually worthy of being an NFL stadium.
Okay, so first things first is when you think of the Chicago Bears, what comes to mind? Soldier Field, right, Combs? So, yes.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, overrated. But
I'll kill you.
Barry Sanders is a lot better than Walter Payton.
I'll kill you.
Exactly, because you're right. But like, do you think that Soldier Field and the city of Chicago are purposely doing this? Just be like, these next 3 years are going to be a complete shit show because you don't want to be here anymore. So bend over and take it, big boys. I mean, screw your dome because Chicago doesn't need a dome. Chicago needs that home field advantage because they'll never be good whatsoever. So they need the Bucks and the Miami Dolphins and the Saints and the Falcons all to come to Chicago in the middle of January just so they have a chance to win a game. But like, do you think the city of Chicago is doing this on purpose?
No, I don't think the city of Chicago is doing it on purpose. I think that the city of Chicago just, because it's been like this for years. This isn't a new thing. It's just the first time that the league officials have said anything about it. This field has been terrible for years. For years. And I mean, you hear, other players, other coaches, everybody comment about the field, and it's been that way for years. And so this isn't anything new. The city of Chicago has done a terrible job with Soldier Field. They should be ashamed of themselves. They blame it on the Elton John concert that was there the week before or whatever. And it's I'm sorry, but I can't imagine. I don't know if you can, Buck, but I can't imagine an Elton John concert getting so crazy that the field gets torn up. It's Elton freaking John.
I heard he puts on a great concert. He
puts on a great concert for everybody to sway back and forth and light their lighters. It's not they're not out there ripping up the field.
Yeah,
we're not talking about like the headbangers ball. You're talking about.
But when you have 100,000 people standing in one one spot, weighing back and forth, that's where you get your brown spots and people peeing in there.
They're smoking weed and holding hands. They're not doing anything else. It's Elton John. It's not like it wasn't Metallica. It wasn't it wasn't anything crazy.
Are you friends with Joe? Because you like
Eminem,
AC/DC and Metallica. Like
no,
I feel like you and Joe.
I like Eminem too. Like I even think Eminem would be like a great concert. Eminem's that would probably tear some stuff up. He is bad right now. He got so political.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill the game. Because of that stupid rap.
He is not even going to respond to that. Let's just
how bad Eminem has been, and guys still will try to revive their careers by dissing him.
Well,
it's so bad.
It is like when people try to still talk down on Tom Brady, like they're just trying to put some name in his mouth. Right?
You know what I found out today? I found out that Eminem is going to have his own skin in Fortnite, and that when you get in the cars in Fortnite and drive around, you can get to the Icon radio station because you can change the radio stations in the cars. Get the Icon radio station are playing Eminem songs.
Jeez.
I didn't know that's how I was playing before, with Junior, and Junior's like, oh yeah, he's like, hey, watch this, hop in the car with me. I hop in the car. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, yeah, Eminem's getting his own skin in there. I'm like, holy cow, that's awesome.
Combs Jr. says, cough, cough, MGK. MGK was a good rapper before he tried to go after Eminem.
MGK is still very, very good. MGK, I like a lot of his stuff.
I'm not a huge punk rock guy, but he's still killing.
Eminem did knock him out of the rap game, though, because now all of a sudden he's a punk rock guy. He's no longer a rapper; he's a punk rock artist.
He's supposed to be releasing a new rap album soon.
Even his rock stuff, though, I can get with.
You can vibe with it.
He's got a lot of good stuff. He's ultra talented.
Yeah,
I like MGK a lot.
He also did the movie. Like he's been in several movies, but
and let's face it, MGK came out with the what was his Rap Devil, and he killed Eminem in that song. I mean, Eminem got him back, but he killed Eminem, and at least his was good. The Game's diss, I don't know if you've heard it, but the Black Slim Shady is just, it's so bad.
I listened to the first minute of that. I'm like, is he going to say something, or is he just?
Then he even threw at the song, he throws in Haley in there just because he knows that makes M the maddest, and
she is so hot though. Good God,
dude, she
man, what happened? Anyways,
she is pretty hot.
Speaking of hot, Jaguars fans were really hot with DeShaun Watson's calling him nasty and all this other stuff. But prior to the game, DeShaun Watson apologized and he said, quote, "I'm sorry if I hurt anybody with my massages." Combs, are we starting to kind of see some type of guilt and maybe trying to salvage his season like at this point?
No, what we see is a guy who was told by the judge that, they gave him a 6-game suspension mostly because he didn't show any remorse. So what does he do when they're trying to get more games? He shows some remorse. It wasn't like he met with the media. He met with one reporter before the game and gave one reporter, who was a no-name reporter, the interview. And, she asked a couple of questions, but she kind of skirted around it all. And look, I'm all about innocent until proven guilty. And I think he's trying to get out in front of it. I think he is trying to save his season. I think that, paying off some of the cases is about, it's cheaper to pay it off than it is to sit out the entire season. And it's the same thing with the apology. I think it's, trying to get the punishment lesson because now you're showing remorse. I don't think there's any I don't think there's anything else to it, and I don't blame him for it.
Yeah, and then I mean, just on the flip side of the coin, if he had a better lawyer, they probably should have got ahead of this like months ago, like back. So like when he first got traded to the Cleveland Browns, they should have held a press conference right then and there, just because like at that point he was starting to pay off all of his civil suits, right? $1 million here, $1 million here, $500,000 there. He should have got ahead of it then. He should have said, "Look, I'm sorry if I hurt anybody." Then, just because then, I think the 6 games would have stuck, right? Like there would have been no appeal, no whatsoever. And then if you get ahead of it before it becomes an issue, now to me this all kind of looks like a PR stunt. This all kind of looks like, hey, he is only doing this because XYZ, just because his lawyer is telling them this. The NFLPA is telling them this. The Browns ownership. So like he is doing it because he has to, not because he wants to.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, there are certain times, where you have to plead guilty even though you know you didn't do the crime, right? Like
right.
you have to go out there and get out in front of it, just because the punishment will be lessened if you just get out in front of it and just admit to something that you didn't do. And you see it all the time, and it's stupid, right? Because it almost makes those people who say that it doesn't matter whether or not he did anything, he's guilty in the court of public opinion. It makes those guys right? Because then all he's trying to do is take the court of public opinion and make them okay with it. He's trying to be innocent in the court of public opinion as opposed to innocent in the court of law. And that's the problem. Like, you're a multi-million-dollar athlete. And when you make things bigger than what they are, you kind of fold to that, right? Like, because
right.
Now all of a sudden you're making it okay for the next, female who wants to put you in this position. You're making it okay for them to throw out false accusations, because at the end of the day, even though it's false, they're going to get their payday. You know what I mean? So now you're opening it up for other. It's kind of like you don't want to. You want to set a tone, right? At some point, you want one of these athletes to stand up and says, "You know what? No, I'm not paying you off. Take me to court.
Right.
Prove me guilty in a court of law," because you don't want it to happen to the next guy. You want to set that standard, and we haven't really seen that yet, right? We've seen, Ben Roethlisberger pays off 2 women. You see DeShaun Watson paying off women. The only time we see anything guilty in the NFL is when you got these guys who are beating women and you got them on video kicking and spitting on them, and these guys get a 3-game suspension. DeShaun Watson has found, that there's not enough evidence by 2 grand juries, and we want to give him a full season, 2 full seasons, to be completely honest.
Yeah. So Junior says, so is Watson going to get suspended? Yes, he is going to get suspended. Now it's just a matter of like how many games. Right now, a district attorney said 6 games would be feasible, but the NFL obviously wants a full year. And then, was it last week, Combs, DeShaun Watson said that he would settle for 8 games with the $5 million fine.
Yeah.
So yes,
and that's that's like just getting out in front of it. Like, look, she gave me 6 games, right? And I was good with that. I was hoping he wouldn't appeal, but now you appealed and you want a full season. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $5 million of my money and give me 8 games, because it's better than the $30 million I'm going to miss out on if I miss the full season.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. He also says Watson should get Depp's lawyer. Yeah, Depp's lawyer was freaking awesome. That girl was so sexy too. Man, she's like
dude,
a sexy,
I'm telling you,
way.
I'm telling you right now, it was Amber Heard. Look, I don't care how crazy Amber Heard is. If she dresses up like she was when she was in
where's the mute button?
Was it? If she dresses up like
married.
she was in, if she was no, I told Michelle this already. If she dresses up like she was when she was in Aquaman, she could shit on my pillow every night.
It was a dog that did it.
No, it wasn't. It was Amber.
Is Colin Kaepernick coming back to the league? Absolutely not. Jesus.
No.
Look,
he doesn't want to be in the league.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be in the league. He wants the limelight. He just
wants to make people think that the NFL was trying to blackball him at the end of the day.
He wants attention. He just wasn't a good quarterback. Look, he's a guy who went to a Super Bowl and then after that was 8-8, 2-6 because he got hurt, and then 1-10 before he got benched.
Yeah, and Alpha Rob says nobody wants Kaepernick. Exactly right. He was complete crap after he went to that Super Bowl, which was an Alex Smith-led team. He just got in a really good situation like Mac Jones and Trey Lance. Alpha Rob also says the guy hasn't played in half of a decade, and he was trashed then. Absolutely right. I mean, he's 34 years old now? So, yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
And then Combs says, I was just wondering if Watson is getting suspended because he was in Madden 22. Well, Madden 22 was made in Madden 21.
I think he's talking about Kaepernick.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Right now, I'm on year 2025 on my fantasy of Madden 22, and Kaepernick is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. I don't understand.
Do you know that Kaepernick is his Madden 23 rating is better than like 7 starting quarterbacks in the league this year?
Jesus.
Is that stupid? The guy hasn't played in 3 seasons. It's about pandering.
Ejection
right?
hearsay.
Yeah,
as Combs Jr. would say. Ejection hearsay.
Yeah.
Did you watch that Amber Heard Donnie Jepp court case at all?
No. I got some of it because Michelle was all tuned into it, but I didn't catch any of it. I see some of the stuff on TikTok that has come out about it.
I freaking love TikTok.
But yeah, I did not watch too much of it. You know what's crazy is that we have, all of that trial is all over the news, right?
Right.
But nobody wants to put the other one on trial with all of the, from what's his face's wife, Epstein's wife.
Yeah.
They don't want to put any of that out there because they don't want any of that getting out.
Ejection hearsay. You can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alpha Rob says, wait. Combs is a Bears fan and Junior's a Pats fan? WTF, mate?
Well, look, so Alpha Rob, I spent, 15 years up in New England. That's where I met Junior's mom. And so Junior is from New England, so it makes more sense. I grew up in Chicago. So I'm a lifelong Bears fan. It'll never change, unfortunately.
That is, unfortunately. And I also saw a crazy meme just like as well. It's like men pick their favorite NFL teams at the age of 11 and pick the same haircut at the age of 11, and they hate themselves for the rest of their lives because of the teams and the haircuts that they picked.
Yeah,
The
Bears. The Bears are one of those organizations that just make you want to scream, which you'll hear about in the Truth about Chicago sports coming up.
Yeah, it is coming up. So, guys, stay tuned to that. I'll post a link in the comments below or in the description once it is getting ready to air. But, guys, Monday is in the books. Tuesday, Combsy will be back. It is Tuesday if and then statements here. So if you guys have an if and then statement that you would like to get with us, hit me up on manhour_buck on the old Twitter machine. Slide into those DMs, or be with us live right here at youtube.com/manhour at 8 p.m. East Coast time. And you can drop your if and then statement. It is pretty simple. You ask a question: if Mac Jones win the Super Bowl, then we answer it. So if Mac Jones win the Super Bowl, then the rest of the NFL got hurt. Obviously it's not that cut and dry, but we make it exciting because this is Man Hour, the best
the rest of the NFL died in a plane crash.
Right. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Combsy, send us out, big guy.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Bye.